Hello YouTube, my name is CNation NGU00. Today's date is July 25th, 2011. Let's see, my next YouTube video I'm going to talk about is the recent story I think it was yesterday or this week, um, involving a tragic incident in the capital of Norway called Oslo, Norway. Uh, th- uh, there was an incident, a tragic incident, saying that a 32-year-old man named Anders Breivik uh, went into the downtown Oslo and he detonated a bomb inside the oil ministry building, and then a few miles later he went to a camp and started shooting innocent people uh, at that camp in Utoya. And now the thing is, let's see, there's this guy on YouTube named the Flex Effect. He had a YouTube video talking about that recent news event about Anders Breivik. He's saying that Anders Breivik is a Christian Zionist with the links to EDL. It stands for the English Defense League, and simply, I guess that what what the information that this guy called named the Flex Effect is saying that Anders Breivik is a person. Just real quick, a Zionist is the definition of Zionist means a worldwide Jewish movement that resulted in establishment and development of the state of Israel. So simply what happened on that day in Oslo, Norway is uh, Anders Breivik uh, decided I'm sorry. I'm going to backtrack. I'm sorry. This guy on YouTube, like I said, the Flex Effect, saying that Anders Breivik is a Christian Zionist. And the information he was saying that the bombing inside the oil ministry building, saying that recently Norway has cut oil to Israel, and then the second attack, saying that the Labour Party was holding rallies to support the Palestine statehood. So simply these attacks from Anders Breivik was simply out of retaliation based on his uh, radical cult beliefs. That since it seems to me Anders Breivik was pro-Israel, he was a person who supported the state of Israel, and that simply his obligations was if anybody who supported Palestine will be attacked and innocent people will be killed because of the result of any country, for example, Norway, uh, saying that during the timing of it was saying that, like I said, supporting the Labour Party was holding rallies to support Palestine. So that since Norway was not supporting Israel in any shape or form, that simply, if I could just write the fighting between Israel and Palestine is a back and forth belief that uh, uh, Israel is a very peaceful state, but yet Palestine is evil or something like that in that area. Um, and like I said, uh, Anders Breivik obligation was that since he was a Zionist, as what this guy named the Flex Effect was saying in the video, that uh, Anders Breivik was doing his obligation to support Israel. That since uh, any any shape or form of threat against Israel is in result of an attack. So honestly, um, this this piece of news that I'm reporting to you guys is simply tragic. That yet again, this is another pure example of what Bill Maher is talking about. That this whole religion thing, that how radical of religion is, and also the subject about the situation between the two countries of Israel and Palestine. That even though technically, if I get this right, President Barack Obama is trying, well, not exactly trying, but somewhat uh, trying to have somewhat of a peace talks between Israel and Palestine. But tragically, the current situation now is that there is a war between Israel and Palestine. And this recent incident with Anders Breivik, like I said, this is just a radical, he was sending a pure message to Norway and possibly any other country who supports Palestine or the other side of Israel, to be presumed, of the situation. And also, during the manifesto, I didn't read the manifesto, but yet the Flex Effect was talking about also saying that his manifesto, I'm sorry, his statement in his manifesto saying that multiculturalism is equally as a threat to Zionism and everything else. That, if I get this correctly, that a part of that quote of Anders Breivik's manifesto is that that he believes, as a Zionist, that if a support of multiculturalism, which means a person who believes in a peaceful process, that having no hate, any cultural of having any culture, all cultures around the world should have no hate towards each other, that we should come together and have a bond together without no hate of result in war and bloodshed and etc. And tragically, there in Oslo, Norway, tragically there was the opposite of what the concept of peace and multiculturalism. So Anders Breivik believed that multiculturalism is evil, that connecting connecting countries and connecting what a country is about, for example, their culture, is simply evil and should be destroyed. So, yet again, like I said, this is just another pure example of what Bill Maher is exactly talking about, the psychotic, radical groups out there that people join, and tragically that Mr. Breivik has joined, believes that the the craziness, the radicalness of these groups is just to brainwash people, just sucker them in to believe that if you are against their agenda, if countries or people or anything like that are against their agenda, they will make a message in the form of somewhat terrorism, but yet this or a concept of terrorism, which means what Mr. Breivik has did tragically, of killing innocent people as possible as a message in bloodshed, that if the people who do not support our group or our radical ways and our radical thoughts and our radical philosophies or prophecies, that any country will be deserved in bloodshed. So this honestly, this is stupid. This is radically stupid to me. This is, again, it's 2011. We're going through the economic crisis. On a long list of stuff I can tell you where I know we're going through, and yet again we're going through that. There's a lot. lot of unstable people. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of unstable people out there. Join these stupid radical groups that they feel they have a need, an obligation to defend what their group is about. So it's absolutely ridiculous, and even though it completely shocks me, but yet, and I do not understand their philosophies, but yet, because of the details, just a little bit, I understand. But yet, do I agree? No. But I agree with what one of the survivors of the Oslo attack, saying that Anders Breivik is a coward of his actions, and I agree. He is technically a coward of just killing innocent Norwegian people out of his Zionism or Zionist group, and with the IED, the English Defense League, which is it's I don't know how to describe it. It's just crazy what's really going on in around the world, that people just feel they have an obligation to use bloodshed to make their message across. And I'm simply for peace, not war, not any form of bloodshed. So Anders Breivik did exactly opposite of how he feels. So that's how I feel about this story. Care to comment? If you'd like to care to comment at the bottom of the screen. Agree, disagree. So tell me what you think. Thank you.